pledge allegiance and taking a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Storm? Present. Mr. Cox?
Present.
Mr. Smith?
Present.
Mr. Paul?
Present.
Mrs. Miller?
Present.
Here.
Birdsong? Mr. Chairman, there are 6 board members present, therefore there is a quorum.
Thank you. You really do need this. Can I have a approval of the minutes of the prior board meeting? Can I have a motion? Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're fortunate enough to have our new Cumberland County Mayor here with us this morning, Ellen Foster. So if you come up and tell us whatever you have on your mind.
I'm actually just thankful to have made it this morning. If you've ever taken St. George accidentally instead of Lakeview, you know you about can't get there from here. So that's why I was running a little late. I guess I wasn't paying good enough attention. I want to thank you all for inviting me here today to give me this opportunity to come out and speak to you and tell you a little bit about county government. I'm looking forward to coming to these things regularly, I hope. I'll get invited back regularly to come talk to you. My wife and I have actually become quite fond of this area over the last year or so. We've really enjoyed a lot of the concerts, the Mirror Lake concerts, and actually got some pretty decent restaurants we've been to. And so we've been amazed to see all the activities that go on out here, and just the whole area is impressive. It's just really growing. You may know this is week 4 of my administration. Can y'all hear me? Okay.
No.
Can you get a little closer, Ben?
This is week 4 of my administration, so I'm a little green, so this may be a little more brief of a presentation than I have at times, but I do have a few things that I want to tell you about that we're going over here that's going on in county government. You may know that in August we passed the county budget. At that time I was still the county commissioner and I was the chairman of the budget committee. It was a no tax increase budget, but it was really the year of emergency services in Cumberland County. We got a lot of things done. We bought new ambulances, cars for the sheriff. We bought a fire truck. We hired some SROs. Just a lot of things that went on in this budget that we're pleased with. And I know out here in Fairfield Glade there have been a lot of talk about ambulance response times. And since that first meeting that was held in Cumberland County, that's an issue that I've taken seriously. So this budget actually provided the funds for us to add what we call a day truck. An ambulance on the day shift, Monday through Friday. It's a BLS, basic life support ambulance. And we're using that now for transports. That was in the new budget, and that's already on the road. We are out doing BLS transports and a new day truck ambulance that is taking a lot of load off of our ALS, our advanced life supports. That bus is actually, they call it a bus. I learned that terminology over the years. The ambulance department calls it a bus, but that bus actually is transporting people now, and it's freeing up the other 7 ambulances that we have 24/7 for ALS calls. We're still working on a couple of other things to improve the ambulance service. I know that there was recently a meeting going to look at a private ambulance service, and honestly, I think there's some room from that first discussion to go straight to a private ambulance service. There's a lot of room for improvement that the county can help with, and this is one of those areas that I believe the county can help Fairfield Lake. There was a trip, and like I said, I think that was a little premature, and I was invited, and it was said that I did not attend, and that is actually true. I was scheduled to the hilt already that day, and I could not go. But where was I that day? You may have heard my next topic I wanted to talk a little bit about is the Stone Peak announcement. Stone Peak just announced that they have and are investing $70 million in their plant here in Cumberland County. And that is going to add and invest another 160 jobs over the next few years. They have the capability now of producing tile that are 10 feet by 5 feet in size. That's the only place in the U.S. that can do that. And several of us, Carl I think was there, and we toured that facility. And you want to talk about a hot place, especially if you're in a dark suit and tie. We were all about to die before it was over with, but it was very impressive. I take the success of Cumberland County very seriously. And over the last few years, your county government has done a lot of things to develop the tools that we need to do. We need to attract jobs. We've done industrial site studies that show what we need to do to improve and market the sites in our county. And that's one of the reasons that the county and the city and the state are partnering right now to build a 215,000 square feet. That is a huge building pad at the industrial site in the city. That's going to be an awesome site, and we are already working to set some restrictions on who can come in and buy that. We want a minimum number of jobs, and we're looking to require a mean wage that is at least, or an average wage that's at least 10% above the mean wage in Cumberland County, because we don't want just any jobs, we want good jobs. And that is a prime. Tennessee does not have barriers like a lot of the places maybe some of y'all came from. We don't have the barriers, so we don't have to add as many incentives. So we're looking to get some new businesses on that pad. We've also been working to improve our workforce. We did an analysis on that, and we're taking steps to improve that. And we did a targeted industry analysis that tells us what businesses are expanding, and out of that group, which ones are a good fit for here in Cumberland County. So we've not been sitting idly by here in the last few years. We are progressing and we are doing some things. But we've also been reaching out to our, excuse me, got a little of those summer colds, y'all. We've also been reaching out to our current business and industry and to see what they need to grow. So the announcement from Stone Peak wasn't an accident. It was from work from your county government. And we're going to continue to work towards that. You may also have heard that we are searching for a new county attorney. I have interviewed several county attorneys, and I will have a recommendation for the full commission on October 15th at our next meeting. We're also looking for a new dispatch director. The current dispatch director was, he's been there, I believe, 7 months, and he's decided to move on. Cumberland County is actually ahead of the game when it comes to how dispatch is handled. There's a couple of boards that's a little confusing. You got a 911 board, and that board is responsible for taking the call. And once the call comes in, you have dispatchers that are responsible for dispatching the traffic. A lot of places would have Fairfield having a dispatcher group, and they would have Cumberland County having dispatchers for our fire and police and ambulance, and then the city would have a dispatch group. Well, we're actually ahead of the game, and some years ago we formed a committee, and all our dispatchers are consolidated. And so we're looking to renegotiate that contract at this point because the E911 board has pulled out of it, but we're going to stay consolidated is my hope and move through that. But I do think we're ahead of the game on that. And you know, there's a lot more going on, and I know I said I would be brief, so I'm going to go ahead and end it there. But if you have any questions after or now,
I'll take questions now.
I'll take questions now, or if you have any. Yes, ma'am.
I watch the criminal activity that's occurring in Crossville and Cumberland County, and it's definitely been stepping up. I know that the Sheriff Cox is on top of it, but what other efforts are being done? Because I'm sure it's primarily driven by the drug problem that we have in the region.
It is, and I actually talked with Sheriff Cox about that this week and actually this morning at a function that we were at. We see that the opioid problem is beginning to decline. The state has made some laws that make the opioids harder to get, and he says that's helping. But you know, they're just going to move to another drug is what it looks like, maybe heroin or something else. But that is what drives that. We do have some issues downtown Cumberland County with some, I don't know if you call them transplants or whatever, that live in that area that I've asked, the city if they could step up some patrols in that area. Sheriff Cox, I don't think he believes that the crime rate is necessarily going up that bad. Will say he probably needs some more deputies. He asked for 4 deputies this year. We were not able to fund those because we had to fund the 4 SROs that the schools desperately needed. Those were important positions after, you don't want the shooting to happen in your place, and you hope that the SROs can help that. And we did have some